Here we go!
You're listening to the video game show on URN.
Hello, it is Saturday, it's 2017, it's the URN video game show. I am your host for today, the Green Ranger. I am Mark. I'm sitting here with the Red Ranger. Dylan, how you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you? How was your Christmas?
It was alright, thanks. How about yourself?
Yeah, it was okay. Christmassy.
I'm sitting here with the Blue Ranger, Tom, special guest for the day. How you doing, Tom?
Hi, thanks for having me on.
You're very welcome. I'm sitting here with, do you want to be the pink or the yellow ranger? They're both girls.
I think yellow.
I'm going to be the yellow ranger.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here with the yellow ranger, Zoe. She's been on the show before. We know her. We love her. How you doing, Zoe?
I'm good, thank you, yes.
And we've got the mic controller, Zordon, Jack. Jack, how's it going?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, thanks. It's been a while since we've been back on the radio, obviously Christmas break and stuff, but a lot has happened over the Christmas break, so I'm sure we'll be able to wrap most of that up in our show today.
Yeah, I think we've got a few administrative things to get through first, and then we will get on to the only real bit of news that's happened, let's be honest. But first, I think we've got to say, we had a competition over Christmas, and the competition is still going. So if you go onto the Facebook page, which everyone listening should do, because our Facebook page is great, that's at URN Video Game Show. There is a picture from Hitman that you can comment on about your favourite winter game, and up for grabs is the intro pack to Hitman 2016, which is one of my favourite games of last year. Shout out to Joe Wellham, who received the upgrade pack for the PC, which was the other possible prize. That's on there. And you should also check out the YouTube channel, Low Expectations Media, where we put up other things too. It was good fun.
I quite enjoy them.
Yeah, they're all right.
Making them, at least.
But that's over. There's something I really want to talk about. There's something we all want to talk about. We're all prepared. We've revised. There's even someone here who's held it in her very hands. Jack, what's it called?
It is, of course, a Nintendo Switch. Now, this got announced, when was it? It was announced about a couple of weeks ago now.
Well, I mean, the device itself was announced in October.
It was announced last October time, but yeah, they had their first major conference since the announcement a couple of weeks ago now, and they were holding events all across the globe where people could have the opportunity to go and get their hands on it, and it's Nintendo's new console. It got announced for release on March 3rd, and a lot of pre-orders have already been sold out.
I think you can't buy it on Amazon.
From what I've heard,
it's sold out on Amazon, but it isn't on Tesco. So I pre-ordered mine from Tesco.
So big up to Tesco. If you want your Switch, go to Tesco, guys. So yeah, who wants to jump in and talk about what the Switch is? I imagine you'd quite like to, wouldn't you, Zoe?
Oh yeah, so I'm not very good at I don't.
I'll tell you
I don't really know how to describe it.
What about if I say what the Switch is and then you say what it feels like?
Sure, sounds like a good plan.
Because I think there is an important part of it to do with feel that we'll get to. So the Switch is Nintendo's new upcoming console. It's coming out March the 3rd, and it is a sort of main console handheld hybrid.
Yeah,
it's a tablet. It's a tablet with two things that you lock onto either side of it for playing games, and then you can plug the tablet into a dock, and that puts it on the screen, and then you take the two things off, and then you play on the screen. So it's I don't know. It
sounds really complicated, but it isn't when you're actually playing it. And all of the separate parts you can so with the little things that slot in on the side, which you slot into the controller and the gamepad.
Yeah, the Joy-Cons.
Yeah, you can also play with those. So I played 1-2 Switch, which is kind of the fun mini game. And it was
Nintendo Land of this one, right? It's the
in that it should be packed in and
it
isn't.
should be, but isn't. Yeah.
No, well, it's really fun. I would recommend getting it, and it's really good for drinking
But they
games.
didn't actually specify how many games will be coming out with the 1-2 Switch, did they? They
It's
they let you have a play of 6 or 7 games on it, but they didn't actually specify how many games that would actually be on it. I imagine it might be quite a few
because it costs.
Yeah,
it's a full price video game.
Yeah.
So
I already pre-ordered that as well.
Like Dylan said, it doesn't come with the console like you saw with Wii Sports on the Wii when it got first released.
If this was a pack-in, if this was a Wii Sports, then that's genius because it seems the games seem to show off everything new and interesting about the console, but it's not a pack-in. It's a full-price game. At the moment, we don't know how many games are on it. If there's 50 games on it, then hell yeah, that's like a new WarioWare. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But who thinks it's actually going to be that?
The ones I played, there were I think we played a choice of 5, so I don't know.
I hope there's more than 5 games
Yeah.
on there, because those games aren't worth £10 a piece.
Is that the one that had like arms and stuff on the new boxing game?
Oh,
Yeah, no,
Arms
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 is-
is a standalone
Arms
game.
is so much fun. Yeah, I played that there as well. It's great. I really like the console, and also I'm a big fan of it because I really like the handheld controller. And also I have really tiny hands, and it's actually really
I
good for
imagine
really
that.
tiny hands. But it also makes me worried that people with like really big hands are gonna kind of struggle with it. Well, I don't really know.
So it's what's the recommended retail price? Can someone throw that out?
So in dollars, I believe it's $299.
yeah,
And 99 cents.
And nine.
does that come in at 280 here? Is that how
I think
much?
I ordered mine for like 240.
I think it was going to be
Really?
around about $249.99. I imagine.
Yeah, I think that's how much
but I'm
mine
not
was.
too
I
sure.
think on release though, I saw a lot of people saying £280, but maybe not. Maybe I misread that.
I don't know. I mean,
Jack,
it-
you've got the website up. Do you want to have a look?
did it feel weighty to you? Did it
No.
feel like it had like some substance about it? Maybe that might be
And
a bad
also,
thing.
it's
if it
it's
didn't-
really cool because it's also like you can just take it with you and like take it on the train, put the screen down, like take the thing out, and you can just play it. You can play it wherever you want, which I think is like the coolest feature of it because it just, I don't know.
So we're
makes it
talking.
nice
So we're
much
to play.
talking
better.
build quality. Does it feel more like an iPad, or does it feel more like the Wii U gamepad? Because the Wii U gamepad feels cheap and plastic. Like it's.
No,
it's,
I
it's
definitely
alright.
say much kind of like classier.
Is
if
it,
that
is it a
makes any more
solid
sense.
device?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know. I also really like the fact you can take them out, and I like the thing I really didn't like about the Wii U was I don't know playing with the big gamepad all the time
kinda difficult
was just
sometimes.
really annoying, especially like I said before because I have really weirdly tiny hands. So yeah, this is much better. And playing Breath of the Wild was just incredible because I played it on the Wii U when I was at E3. But I hadn't played it on the Switch, obviously. But playing on the Switch was so much different. It was so much better. I just couldn't.
Was it not just the same demo that they had at E3? Anyway?
It was the same demo, but it was kind of more built onto. So
Okay.
it was because it's like the game is finished now.
And at a slightly higher resolution,
Yeah.
from what I've heard.
I've seen lots of people saying that that's because the Switch is just better than the Wii U, but at the same time, the demo this time is way later, so surely they might have just improved the actual game at this point.
I think
Is
it
it-
was like pretty much like they'd have finished the demo at least when they were doing it at E3, so we don't know how much of the actual game
Yeah.
was like not completed yet. But no, I definitely think it was so much better than playing it on the Wii U. So yeah, it's just my opinion.
Yeah, so I think there's another interesting part to this, which is not only is it Nintendo trying to create a home console and a portable console and combine it, but as we touched on with 1-2 Switch, they are taking a dive back into motion controls pretty heavily.
with HD Rumble. As well.
With
what is
HD Rumble.
Oh, no.
HD Rumble is their insane new thing, which is like they claim that you can now hold up one of the controllers and move it around, and you can sense how many marbles are in a
Yeah,
tiny
no,
box.
I played that game.
Damn.
It is insane. Genuinely, I was doing it, and it felt like I was holding a box full of marbles. It was like really freaky. But
I wonder how many games are actually going to be able to use that in a way
Yeah.
that isn't
Yeah.
just how many marbles are in this box.
But even then, if you've got say Breath of the Wild or an open world game like that, being able to go around and pick up things and like pick up a treasure chest, as it were, not actually, but something like that, and sort of being able to tell what's inside before you open it, that would be pretty cool. It's a bit gimmicky, but
Yeah, I'm incredibly worried that in my mind, what this console should have been is them actually combining handhelds and home consoles in a way that made a lot of sense and combined all of their platforms into real nice experiences. And what it feels a little bit too much like is them going, "Hey, the Wii sold really well. Let's try and have a piece of that cake again."
Yeah.
Because
well, I won't agree with that because obviously I played it and I just loved it, and also there's actually one thing I wanted to bring up that's like the one problem I have with Breath of the Wild, and it seems like a really trivial thing, but it's the fact that when you like run through the grass and you cut the grass, you don't get rupees. And that like
That is-
really upset me because that's like
that's weird.
half of the fun in the game is like running around and like in Ocarina of Time where you smash the pots in that room. That's the best. I don't know if you can like get them in treasure chests or pots and stuff because I didn't really get that far. But yeah, I found that really disappointing. That's like my one complaint about Breath of the Wild.
that's a pretty major complaint.
Yeah.
I basically the game's ruined for me now. I refuse.
they're subverting the Zelda formula in every way. You know, it's open world game. You can't
Dialogue.
you can't get rupees in grass now. It's different in every way.
Yeah, but that you've got to move forward. Like if you look at the first Zelda game and then like I don't know Twilight Princess, they're completely different things.
At least they
like-
had rupees in the grass, though.
Yeah, at least they had rupees in the grass.
Nah,
Yeah.
that is
Yeah,
true.
no marble.
You're going to be picking up all of those chests and trying to guess what's in it before you open them now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming we're all excited for the Switch. I don't know if I'll be
I'm very
getting one
excited.
anytime
I'm
soon,
excited to have
but
a look at it.
I am
Yeah.
fascinated to see what that console will be.
yeah.
I was really excited about the Wii U and still think it's really cool, but still haven't got one. So
Yeah.
I imagine I'm going to be the same about this, which is sad because I'd like to have a go with it, but I just know I probably won't.
Yeah, I've gone into debt by pre-ordering my copy already. I went to the event, I got home, and I went on Amazon. I was like, no. So for some reason, I just decided to go on Tesco and see if they have it, and they did.
It was
so
a good shout.
yeah, but I don't get it until the day after it comes
No,
out. So I don't get it on the day. I get it the day after.
That is disappointing.
I know it's a little
Okay.
bit disappointing. That whole day.
Everyone else is going to have enjoyed it. They're going to be talking about ruining it for you.
Spoilers, guys. Yeah, I think I saw that press conference and immediately pre-ordered Zelda on the Wii U because I thought,
Yeah, which I think
that's
a lot
where
of
I'm going to play
people-
this
It
game.
is-
I think
it
a lot of
is
people will do
nowhere
that.
near as good on the Wii U.
But I
As
think a
someone
lot of
who's played it
people
on both.
won't want to go out and buy a Switch just to play the new Nintendo, the new Zelda game if they have
Yeah.
already got a Wii U. I think, like you, Mark, people will be out there buying the game on the Wii U. It might not look as good, it might not run as well, but I still think people, if they want to play that game and they already
Yeah.
have a Wii U, they are going to just buy it on the Wii U.
Yeah, I think I am currently not sold on the Switch at all.
Going back to what you said about they're trying to get the piece of the Wii cake, as it were, with the whole cost of Joy-Cons and stuff, the Wii sold because it was great for family things. So, like, if you ever go to a family event or just go and visit your grandparents and your cousins are around, you can play these ridiculous games because you can get a lot of Wiimotes for fairly cheap. But now it's going to be, you can have like 3 controllers before you're completely in debt and your family falls apart.
Yeah, man.
So
It's like $60 for a pair of
yeah,
Joy-Con controllers.
which is
or
so
$50
$80 for a full thing essentially, and then $50 for just one of them, which can play some other games, I guess.
If
but
you want
Yeah.
another dock for the Switch to go into another television, that's
Yeah.
another $90. Just
Yeah,
for
but
essentially
it's
a
always
a
like that. You've
stand.
got that with like
Yeah.
the PlayStation and all of like the add-ons you can get for that. It's like
But,
even
like-
just getting another PlayStation controller is £50.
Yeah, but that's different, isn't it? Because if they are going for these party games again, so like ARMS looks a bit like that sort of thing. It's
Yeah.
Wii-boxing but better. 1-2 Switch, you want your controllers to be a bit more affordable.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
But I agree, it is ridiculous with PlayStation and
Yeah.
Xbox too. It is insane.
I think one of the main
prices.
key things that I was confused by is the way that they tried to market it as a party games console. So as, you know, people sitting down and having a party and
Take it
playing
to a
these
rooftop, man.
games, playing these games whilst they're having a party and trying to have a fun time. Now, I'm not too sure how many parties you guys have been to, but they don't tend to be too quiet. And with 1-2 Switch,
Yeah.
you need to be able to hear the instructions. You
No,
need to be
the
able to
whole
hear the
point
sounds
is,
and stuff.
so with 1-2 Switch, the thing that they said to me when you play it, you're not actually meant to look at the screen. You're only meant to look at the other
Yeah, but if you
person.
So then what?
Yeah.
But
So
if you
then
can't
how
hear
do you
it-
how do you know what to do?
It just has like a countdown,
yeah,
and it tells
then
you.
how
but,
do you
like,
hear the countdown?
How do you hear the
at
countdown
your
if it's
party?
at a
It's
party?
pretty loud.
But like, do you have to go? Hold on, everyone, turn the music down at the party. Everyone stop talking for a moment because we have to
Yeah,
quick
but if
draw.
you're standing close enough to your TV, like you gotta assume you're standing pretty close to your TV. I've been at a party and had the
assuming
TV
that
on.
you are
and-
going to
So
have
what-
it
I've
docked
actually
into
So
been
what
to
you're
a
telling me is
club
I
where
should
you can
take the
play
entire
Mortal
console
Kombat.
to this party, not just the tablet. I thought the point was you
Yeah.
take just the tablet
No,
and
you
set it
can
up.
just take the tablet as
Yeah,
well.
but then-
you
But
you
could,
can't.
How good are
then
the speakers
hook
on
it
the
into
tablet?
you
TV,
could just
can you?
plug it into a speaker. like-
This is the point. It seems so muddled in its vision.
Yeah.
Like there is not a coherence to the vision of the Switch. Like it could have been so perfect, and at the moment it seems like they've got loads of really interesting ideas that all seem really cool. I'm not saying they're not. I'm not bagging on
Yeah.
it, but it is incoherent to the
It does
max.
feel like not quite polished off, if that makes any sense. It's like not quite. I don't know. It feels a bit
like
messy and
what's
like
that
mixed
tech
up. But
in like the left hand grip, whatever it is, that you can scan stuff.
Yeah, you can do rock,
Really?
paper, scissors.
Yeah, like one of them's got an IR sensor, and
Yeah.
like you can hold it up to your mouth and like pretend to eat sandwiches and stuff for one of the 1-2 Switch games.
I did
But it's
not
like
see
that's
that.
one of the reasons that those controllers cost twice as much as every other controller, because there's a sensor in it. But how many games are going to use that? That aren't just minigame collections.
Yeah, I'm
like
not sure.
there are a lot of really interesting ideas in it, but it seems so muddled.
Yeah. Well, they even
Yeah.
said at the presentation, didn't they? There was a bit where they said, we have a rich heritage, our history of consoles has, the Wii had the motion controls, we've got this, this and this from this console, and we've bundled them all into one. So you might have hit the nail on the head there when you say they don't really have a clear vision, a clear direction. They're sort of trying to take the best bits of everything they've done, and it's going in more than one direction.
Yeah, like it seems like it could be really awesome. I am very excited to see how that goes. That new Mario game looks rad. I'm a huge fan of
Yeah.
Super Mario
I don't
and
get it.
Super
It's
Mario
kind of
Odyssey.
like Mario / Minish Cap sort of thing. I don't know.
It's the like follow on to Mario Sunshine and 64,
That's,
isn't
that's,
it?
that's
Yeah.
what they're claiming it to be, isn't it? They said it was a open world. It's not really open world in the
it's not
sense
gonna
that
be,
it's open.
yeah.
You know,
It's not GTA,
What every other
it's-
open world game is.
It's
It's
open
those open
world in the
levels.
sense
Yeah.
that
But
every other
it's-
Mario game is open world.
It's
Yeah.
Mario leaving the Mushroom Kingdom for the first time, and he's going off into exploring new different worlds. And you see him in the
New Donk City, baby.
New Donk City. You see him
Oh
in the
my
demo
God.
that they, or the footage that they had at the conference. You know, you see him running around, and he's about knee height, looking compared to all the other normal human beings
reckon-
around the world. And
Do you reckon he's
stuff,
going to pull a Sonic and kiss one of the ladies?
I'm
Is
not
he going to
too
kiss
sure.
one of the giant ladies?
I'm
Jack?
not too sure. There is.
I want him to kiss a giant lady.
I think there are
Oh
some
my
like
God.
theories going around. Obviously, Mario used to be a plumber, and maybe he is a human, and everyone else around him is
He's
just
from Brooklyn,
weird
if
people,
I understand
so
it correctly.
I'm not too sure what.
But Brooklyn isn't in New Donk City.
It's not. No.
Maybe
I mean,
there's
that-
several Brooklyns. Never know.
Brooklyn,
Mario
New Donk
game-
City.
That Mario game does look good.
Yeah,
it
it
does
looks
look good.
really
I mean,
cool.
It looks
you know,
exciting.
to have at your first conference to be like, look, we've got this Zelda game which you all have seen before, and it's pretty cool, and you know, this is one of our mainstays of the Nintendo franchise. And then to say, look, we've also got Mario coming out later this year. I believe it's releasing at some point in the holiday season
holidays,
this year.
yeah.
What they've said it as. They are the two biggest, or arguably the two biggest franchises on Nintendo,
Yeah.
on Mario and Zelda.
Still no Metroid
And-
though.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, but
It's been so long.
They had what was the one last year? Fusion Force or whatever it
Yeah,
was.
the weird like co-op game.
Federation Force, that was it.
Yeah.
Metroid Prime Federation Force.
That hardly counts
That
though,
was
does
just a
it?
minigame collection, wasn't it?
That's kind of what they did with Star Fox as well, right? They had that weird mech game where you flew around. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with the Switch over the next few years. I don't know. You're getting one. Are you
Yes.
excited about Splatoon by any chance? Are you a Splatoon person on the Wii U?
I played Splatoon when I was at the Switch event, but other than that, I haven't really played it.
What is Splatoon? Because I watched the presentation, but I had no idea what was going
It's
on
like-
when they showed Splatoon.
COD with paint.
Yeah, it's a third-person shooter, except there's an extra mechanic to it, which is it's not about getting the highest number of kills. It's about covering the level in as much paint as possible, but you also kill people with the paint. So it's as is Nintendo's way. They've taken away a lot of the traditional systems you think are part of a third-person shooter, and made it different and unique. And then that dude came out in a lab coat, pointing guns
Sunglasses.
around. That was bizarre. It was a strange conference, wasn't it? Like I actually really enjoyed the presentation. We've all seen the presentation. You've obviously seen it.
Yes.
It's yeah. What do people think of the finger clicking thing? I thought it was weirdly clever. I quite enjoyed it. I started to get really into it at the end.
It was good, but like you mentioned before the show, there was always that sort of half a second between it actually being like it worked well, and then, you know, so they click and then the lights would go off, but and then it would sort of take a few more seconds for another light to come on and the other person to walk out on stage, and it would all be a bit of a I don't know, yeah, a bit of a mistiming. And obviously
But
watching
that was
it,
kind of charming, wasn't it?
watching it in the UK as well, we had the live translation happening
Oh, that was great.
during that live stream, and it was pretty funny. I think maybe a couple of the translators maybe got a bit mixed up with what some of the presentators, well, what some of the people were saying that when they were presenting their stuff. It was rather weird and oddly funny.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of charm in that conference. The dude in his red suit with his Mario hat with the eyes on. How great was that? I want that hat.
Oh,
You want all
when I
hats
was
then?
there, actually,
I like
they
that.
had two guys like in massive Mario and Luigi suits, but
Brilliant.
they couldn't see at all, so they were being like led round. But they were like, it was like they were really drunk. I actually have a photo with them, but like he kept on accidentally pushing me out the way, so I
It
was just
wasn't an
kind of like,
accident.
no, because he was trying to do like a pose with me, but then I kept on kind of like, and then the photo isn't very good, but it was just so funny. Oh my days, it was great.
Yeah, it seems. I don't know. I think.
Looked like a pretty fun thing to be at, event to be at.
Oh, it was
Yeah,
so much
definitely.
fun.
Which is what you want to sell your
that,
things.
That milk game from 1-2 Switch.
Yeah.
There are a lot of pretty brilliant videos that come out of that now.
I actually have one of my brother playing it with his friend who I was the +1 with, and my brother just decided he wanted to make it as sexual as possible. So
It
was
doesn't
just
take
like,
much to do that.
No,
I don't think you have to
really
put any
did.
effort to make it
No.
sexual.
He was getting really annoyed though because I was much better at milking cows than he was. So.
How dare you?
I know.
So Tom, the concept of milk,
Well, I've heard about this.
Yeah,
It's
have you-
basically
have
a
you
race
seen it?
to see who can milk
make the most cups
cows.
of milk.
But how do you do that with the controller? Is it?
So it's
Yeah,
got.
so you're like doing this, like you're.
Oh,
Sorry,
what
I'm
do you
moving
do?
my
It's
hand
got-
up and
when
down.
you,
You're
when you
already
take the
doing
Joy-Con off, the bits that snap onto the side of it, there are buttons on the inside there. So when you hold it on its side, it's got shoulder buttons.
Oh, right, okay.
And so when you hold it vertically, basically the idea is you're moving it up and down and alternating as you press the buttons, and it's the action of. And I imagine the rumble probably backs up some of the feeling as well. Probably,
yeah,
you'd think, right?
kind of.
If,
But-
if they've got HD rumble, you think they'd use it for that.
I
and
think
so
it's-
it simulates milking a cow.
I think it's really good, especially for the idea of like party games. Because I was talking to the guy and he was like, "Yeah, you can make a really, really fun drinking game out of it because it could be like the difference between how many cups you got. Like you have to do like a shot. So if I got 10, you got 12. I have to do 2 shots, stuff like that. And yeah, it's really fun. You guys are dissing it, but it's actually a really fun game.
No, I think I'm not dissing the game. I imagine the game is hilarious. And I
Yeah.
imagine a lot of it is really, really fun. What I am concerned about is that I think 1-2 Switch should be a pack-in
Yeah.
because because that was the problem with Nintendo Land. Like Nintendo Land was a really nice demonstration of all the cool things that the Wii could do. And no one bought it because it didn't come with the game. And it's like, why am I going to spend £40 for 6 games?
Yeah, I was very hesitant about buying it. Like, I wasn't going to buy it at first at all because it didn't come with it. But then I went and played it, and it was so much fun that I was kind of like, I'm willing to pay the £40 for this. But I feel like a lot of people won't have that experience of going and playing it at an event, and it's really, really fun. So you want to buy it.
Yeah. If you need to sell it by playing it first, then
Yeah.
that's not the best because obviously.
Yeah.
How many
Yeah.
people bought a Wii because they went round to their friends and played Wii Sports?
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
true.
That's
Yeah.
But it's the
awesome.
best-selling console of all time, isn't it, the Wii?
So I think it's like second to the PS2 and original Game Boy or something, but it's up there. I think might be
I
faster
thought it was
selling.
first.
Oh, I don't
I might
believe
be
so.
wrong.
But
It was definitely the first out of those, out of that generation. It's
yeah,
way
it,
outsold
yeah,
those.
it absolutely annihilated and remains to have annihilated the PlayStation 3 and 360. But I believe the PlayStation 2
Probably.
is.
PlayStation 2 was like a great console, though.
Yeah, you won't get any arguments from me there. PlayStation 2 is a great console. No, I think again, I'm not bagging on the Switch. I just think there are some bits about it that I think
Yeah.
it could have been handled better. You know.
The fact you have to pay for online now, that's
Well, it's
I
going to
bet.
be, when it comes out, it's going to be free. So it launches on March 3rd, and the online services will be free until the beginning of fall this year.
So did you
okay.
see? So all of their online like group parties and chats and stuff is done through a mobile app.
Yeah,
Which
that was weird.
all of the internet's response was, yeah, it's called a mobile phone. You call people on the phone. It's just having the Skype app.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah, I don't quite understand it as well. And what I
Yeah.
was telling you outside as well, when you sign up for your online, you get given a free game every month from like the virtual console or whatever.
Yeah.
But you don't get to then keep it for the other 12 months in a year. You get you get given that game to download, play it for that month, and then you get given the option to buy it or just never play it again. Which I mean, it's weird because I imagine you probably won't want to play it ever again. If you've played it for the entire month, you probably got quite a way through it.
Yeah.
And you
Probably.
will probably get sick of it. by
Especially
playing-
like a lot of the games in the virtual console
Yeah.
aren't that long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm not too sure what to make of that. I think if it would be better if they gave you the option to keep all of the games. Because
Yeah,
then
like
at least
if-
that's worth signing up for.
Yeah, because then after a year, you've paid however much money and you've got an actual solid grip
Yeah.
of awesome Nintendo games. Like that would be great.
yeah.
But again, it's Nintendo once again showing. I mean, I love Nintendo games, but their online services have been wonky at best since inception, and it's once again them going, "Oh, that Games with Gold thing's pretty good. That PlayStation Plus thing's pretty good. Let's have a go at that." But still not quite getting it right, you know?
Did you see there was a post on Reddit about it? I think it was actually before the event, but when people knew that they were doing a paid online service, and someone said they should do something similar to Netflix, essentially. So you pay and you can pick a different amount that you're paying for, depending on so
Yeah.
maybe you just want the NES games, but then literally you pay this amount and you get access to
So
maybe
just their
not all of
library
it,
of
but
games.
to the library of
Yeah.
games. And I think that would be a really good way of doing it because
Yeah, people have been
Lots of people
saying
would
that
do
about
that.
the Virtual Console for years. Like just
yeah.
it would be better if you could pay monthly and then you could just go and play Zelda instead of having to pay 500 Nintendo points or whatever it is. Have they got rid of Nintendo points? I don't know. I've not gone on the Virtual Console on my Wii U. I don't know if they've got rid of Nintendo points or
Yeah,
not.
they were Nintendo points on the Wii U.
Oh really? So they've still
Yeah.
got Nintendo points. Brilliant.
Like, I might be wrong. That's like to my memory. I haven't played the Wii U in ages.
It's like downloading an N64 game with a virtual console. It's not £8, it's 1,000 Nintendo points. Okay, right, cool.
I mean, I guess they all used to do that as well. Xbox used to do it. I don't know if PlayStation did it, but
PlayStation never did it. PlayStation was just here, put in your card numbers.
that really
Give
worked
me
out
your
well.
money. That did.
But we'll see what happens when it actually comes out, I guess. But there's a lot of speculating at the
I
moment.
mean, unlike the Wii
It'd
U,
be fun.
I think it's almost sold out like everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like at least it's not made the Wii U mistake of everyone thinks it's just an add-on and they're not buying it for their console.
Yeah.
People actually think
Yeah.
the Switch is a
Yeah.
thing and they want to buy it, which is cool because that means people will develop for it.
Do we know what's going to happen to the Nintendo DS now? Are they still going to make those, or is it
So-
is the Switch going to become their
Okay,
home and
so
their
so
handheld?
there's some interesting stuff about this. So for a start, 3DSs have been really hard to get hold of new ones for like a couple of months now, which is
Oh,
really
really?
bizarre. Yeah. And then the other side to that is they've been saying that they haven't stopped they're not going to stop supporting the 3DS. But when the DS came out, they were like, we're not going to stop supporting the Game Boy. And then, when the DS was announced, they did their whole like, oh yeah, well, we've now got the Game Boy and the Game Boy Advance, and we've got the DS, and then they just immediately stopped supporting those. And
Right.
I can't imagine they're going to keep making 3D, especially since also like just before Christmas, the 3DS was blown wide open by hackers and is now like rampant with piracy.
Yeah.
Like like you can get every single 3DS game for free now and just put it on an SD card and put it in there.
Wow.
So.
It's
Like,
like
I don't know
the
if they're gonna keep supporting
R4 on the original DS.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had one of those, and I swear I never paid, like, except for Nintendogs, which came with my DS. I don't think I ever had like
Big
another
ups to
physical
Nintendogs.
game.
Nintendogs is a huge game.
I feel really bad. I think my Nintendogs are probably long
Was it like,
dead.
yeah,
by
RIP
now.
to all of the
they're
Nintendo
still gonna be alive, aren't they?
Yeah.
No. Oh no!
I've
You
still
always
got
see
my
those-
DS charging.
You always see those pictures online being like RIP to all of the Nintendogs who got forgotten about in like 2008 when everyone just got bored of them. And now it's just they're still there in a
bet
game
they're going to
cartridge
be
somewhere.
really smelly. I bet you'd
I
have
think
to,
they're
you'd have to
gonna
wash
be
them like
really-
4 times.
They're probably going to be really dead.
They can't no program in death,
Well,
can
like
they?
they do it in Tamagotchis. They
This
die.
isn't Tamagotchis.
Oh, Tamagotchi's hardcore though. Tamagotchi's real life, man.
Nintendogs is just fun.
Yeah.
They're
I can-
immortal dogs just to make your kids feel a bit better.
Yeah. I think this is a perfect time to go to a song. Now, Mark, you've chosen the song for today.
Okay, so what these are, I'll tell you what, I think actually if I just say these are all legitimate tracks from an actual Tetris video game that came out, and then we just play because they're brilliant.
Yeah, so this first one is called Prophetic.
And we are back. That was Prophetic by Neil Voss.
It was beautiful.
And
I
it was
enjoyed it.
from the N64 Tetris game called Tetrisphere, which was you played 3D Tetris on a sphere, and as you made layers, they disappeared and you worked towards the core, and then it was all set to this kind of really intense, like, 90s trance.
That sounds awful.
That sounds great.
It-
I'm well into that.
yeah, it's pretty good. Right, so before we move on, I just want to say, if you want to get in touch, you can send us a free web text. Is it at 07903545252? You can Facebook us or Twitter us at URN1350, or you can get online and send us a message at www.urn1350.net, or you can go to the Facebook group at URN Video Game Show, send a message to just us. We'd like to hear it. We like your feedback. Or you can even go to the YouTube channel, Low Expectations Media, and look at all other sorts of things that we do. Well, theoretically anyway.
3 at the moment, right?
3 at the moment, but maybe more. Like, I've got OBS on my computer. There's no reason we can't do more.
We can do anything.
So, Jack, do you want to have a little chat about games that we played over Christmas? Because I think we're
Yeah.
done talking about the Switch.
Yeah, I mean, the Switch... it-
I'm all switched up.
we spent half an hour talking about it, and I mean, that was really...
Shall we
really
switch
the only...
topics?
Shall we... I can't click, it's
Oh,
not
no.
clicking. Shall we switch? Yeah, we'll switch. But yeah, so what's everyone been playing? I mean, we've had 4 weeks away from university. Obviously, everyone's been studying hard and whatever for exams. But when you're not studying, I assume that you have all sat down and played some video games.
That's literally what I
Indeed.
do.
Studying and video games. That's why we're on the show.
Yeah, it's why my skin's this awful colour.
I think one of the games that me and Dylan want to talk about in particular is Gwent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for those of you
Tell
that
us about
don't know,
Gwent then.
Gwent is the card game that originated in The Witcher 3 in Witcher 3.
Yeah.
We've all expressed our love for it on this show
We've all
before, I
played that
believe.
game. Tom, you've played some of it.
I
haven't you?
played one round.
You've played one round of Gwent, and what
Is
they've
that the
done
round
is
that
It
you
was a
played?
revelation. Yeah, it was great.
they've turned this card game from the game into a standalone game, and it's in its beta at the moment, and you can still apply for your beta keys if you just go to the Gwent website and you can get a beta key through. You can also buy beta keys from various other places on the website, on the internet rather, and
Maybe a bit
I've been playing
illegitimately.
some of that, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I've been looking forward to that game ever since you guys started telling me about Gwent,
Yeah.
when you guys were playing it in the game, and then I went on and got Witcher after you guys were telling me about it, and I sort of at first didn't understand it in the game. I didn't understand what the point
takes a little
in
bit, doesn't
Gwent
it? Yeah.
was.
Mm.
But now having played it and gotten access to the beta and watching other people play it and just playing cards
What's
is cool,
your
man.
current rank, Jack, online?
Oh, I think last night when I checked it was around about 6,500. But
That's
it,
out of quite
out
a
of-
few thousand, isn't it?
out of however many people play it, I think.
7,500.
I'm not sure how many people play it at the moment, but it does tend to vary quite a lot. Like the people who are in the top 10, top 50 have played over 400 games of Gwent, and I'm only currently at around about 50 games in terms of
That's a lot of
ranked
Gwent.
play. Because how it works is you get thrown into the game, you get given all of your just basic cards, and you can start creating your decks. So you get to level 3. Up until level 3, you just have to use the cards that you're given. At level 3, you get to then mill cards, which means you can get rid of some cards that you don't want for scraps, and then you can use those scraps to craft other cards. And then up until level 10, you can only play in casual play.
Which is unranked.
Yeah, which is unranked. And then when you get to level 10, you can start playing in ranked play and start seeing how well you fare against other people in the world.
Sick. Is
Oh.
there any word on the single player? Remind me.
There's
'Cause
nothing in the beta about it.
No.
Oh, okay.
But we know what it's going to be.
Yeah.
ish.
Yeah, is it still what they were talking about?
That
a while
isometric
back, which is-
RPG
yeah,
thing, yeah.
like
I
a sort of
believe so.
isometric RPG light, little bit of story, and you just go around like.
I think they've essentially taken the Gwent storyline out of, not the same story, but the Gwent style of game from Witcher 3 and made it isometric, in that you walk around, find people to play Gwent against.
Will it be like that mod for The Witcher 3 that replaces all the combat with games of Gwent?
I hope so, because
So
that
it's
mod
just
is
like-
intense.
So it's like you walk up to a wolf and then you stab the wolf and then you play Gwent against the wolf and then when you win the wolf dies.
I need to download that.
You
'Cause
don't
I remember
even
you
have to
telling me
stab
about
it,
it, and
do
it just sounds so cool.
It's as soon as you go into combat mode, so as soon as your sword automatically gets pulled out, it just turns into a game of
I've
Gwent,
got
which is sick.
that mod that means that doesn't happen.
That's probably better.
Yeah. My version of Witcher 3 is pretty heavily modded.
Mine's
it makes
on
it
console.
makes it a noticeably better game. I actually recently got the achievement in Witcher 3 for getting all of the Gwent cards.
And then you downloaded the
And then
DLC.
got even more of the Gwent cards from the DLC. And when you get all the Gwent cards in the DLC, the achievement's called "I have a problem," and I agree with the computer.
But I mean, that is
But-
one of the main things that gets me sidetracked. Is there's so many guides online being like, yeah, so you can go here to get this Gwent card and go here to get, and then you just get sidetracked and you go off and find these cards, which it does seem a bit sad. But I mean, I have complete fun when I'm doing it. When I'm
Yeah.
going around looking for cards and you go to different places, it's
when
It's
you get your
awesome.
really
fifth
good.
Blue Stripes Commando, and you just know you're going to wreck, no matter where you are.
Oh, so good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been playing a lot of Witcher 3 actually. As far as I can tell from looking at some quest lists, I have done every single secondary quest, treasure hunt, and Witcher contract in that game.
That is intense. That's quite a lot of...
I've got like 4 missions left in Blood and Wine. I've done
Yeah.
all of Hearts of Stone, and then I've got, I think, just the last couple of missions in the main story. I'm at like 170 hours. I'm almost there.
Blimey.
I've almost got rid of the albatross around my neck that is The Witcher 3. I started playing that game August the 15th, 2015.
It's a big
2015.
game.
I've been playing that game for over a year.
Yeah. The fact that you can still be playing it and still be so into it is really a testament to
Yeah.
why it won a video game of the water year this year.
To be
Yeah.
fair, I have played several. I played like 100 hours of Metal Gear Solid in there, and like some other stuff too. It hasn't just been that, but yeah, it's really good.
I think
they've
it's awesome.
completely changed it up with this standalone version,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah, the new Gwent seems legit.
I think one of the
It's
things that I like
complicated.
about it is it's making collectible card games accessible to people who don't want to spend money on buying their cards, because you can obviously make in-game purchases to buy
Yeah.
kegs, which you can get extra cards and stuff. But what they are doing really well is the reward system. So every time you play a couple of games, you get, so it's best 2 out of 3 to win a Gwent game, and you get 2 parts of the crown every time. For every round you win, you get half a crown, and so it's like when you start playing, it will reset your stats for that day, or your reward tree for that day, and it will put you back down to be like, so you need to win 6 crowns, and then you get 3 rewards for winning 6 crowns. So if you win 2 crowns, you get 1 reward.
Right,
if you win another 2 crowns, you get another reward. And then it sort of does it 6, 12, 24, and you have to just win 48 games or 48 rounds, and then every 2 or 3 rounds that you win, you get extra additional bonuses, which I think is brilliant. You know, it's not done as much as it could be done in other online card games.
So like, you definitely don't feel like to have a good deck you have to pay money.
It's not pay to win at all. At the moment, I don't think.
I think there's a certain level to it as well, though, is that because it's in beta, you're not going to experience that much anyway, because there still is certainly an aspect of, if you want the right deck, if you want like the perfect deck, you can just buy it and then you've instantly got an
Can you buy
advantage.
individual cards?
Well, you can buy the kegs and then it's RNG again, which is a bit
Can
annoying.
you buy more expensive kegs that have better RNG?
No, not at the moment.
No,
you
you
just
can
buy
buy a
more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is there a best value?
There is, and it's buy as many as you can. It's like, what, 50 cards? It's 50
What's
pounds.
best value?
I'm not even
£50.
sure.
How many kegs?
I can't remember exactly, but
Best value.
you've got to. If you don't buy that one, then you're a fool.
You're literally throwing money away.
Yeah, you should always go in £50 at a time, no matter what.
And I think one of the good things that they've introduced as well is a good game button. So whether you win or lose,
Exactly,
your
it's the Gwen symbol twice.
yeah, whether you win or lose the card game, you can send your opponent a GG, and they'll get extra rewards from you if you send them a GG, and the same will happen to you if they send you a GG. So it sort of encourages you not to get upset.
It just
basically.
makes you angry when they don't, though.
Yeah,
That's the
Yeah, it
only
does.
thing that does. Also, it means you don't send it because there's quite a bit of a problem in it with people forfeiting if they've not won. So you can forfeit even after you've just lost the last round if you do it quick enough. So it means even if you've completely destroyed them, they will forfeit, and you just don't.
What does that mean?
It still counts as a win, but I'm not sure if you get different amounts of rewards depending on how well you play.
I'm not
That
quite
seems
sure.
really
I think you
weird.
might get a different amount of XP,
but
I'm
it's
not
still
too sure.
really annoying.
Yeah.
When
I
you're
bet.
you're waiting for that victory, you're really proud of yourself, and then they've forfeited. It's great. Then they don't get a GG. Then they never get a GG.
Report
Otherwise-
'em. That's what I'd do.
You can't. There's no report player. I sent in a thing to the beta support thing because that needs to be something that's in there.
Saying I want to whinge about other players. Let me.
Yeah, exactly. They responded with send us the usernames of these people. It's like, that's snitching. I can't do that.
Yeah.
You know what happens to snitches?
They get stitches.
They get stitches. Tom, what
Yeah.
have you been playing?
So before Christmas, I was playing a bit of Overcooked that you mentioned on the show
Did.
many weeks
Yes.
ago now.
We
Yeah,
spoke
it
about
was.
Overcooked because it won best multiplayer at the VGX, did it not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was at least on there. Did it win?
I think it. Oh no, I imagine Overwatch won.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. What am I talking about? Obviously, Overwatch won best.
Won
yeah.
everything.
Sorry, that was me being dumb.
It definitely was nominated.
It was on
yeah,
there.
because
it was on
we
there.
had a chat about it, didn't we?
Yeah.
You've been playing some Overcooked.
Yeah.
I played some Overcooked with you.
I
Overcooked
played
is
some
a
Overcooked.
it's
Yeah.
a sort of top-down. You're 2 chefs in a kitchen, or more than 2 chefs actually. It's between 2 and 4. If you're playing single player,
okay.
you have to control both, which is really difficult.
Can you control them at the same time?
No, you press a
Oh, that's
bumper
a
and it'll
shame.
switch between one or the other, but it's really difficult. But then as you add more players, up to 4 players,
So
the
everyone
game
plays
gets
a chef.
more difficult. Yeah, it will give you instructions of you need to create this salad, so you need to chop up some lettuce, chop up some tomato, put them together on a plate, and then serve it. And then the plate will come back, and you've got to wash up the plate. And then it will be more complicated stuff, like you've got to make soup, or you've got to make a burger or a burrito.
Yeah, and then you then have to do it inside a volcano, and
Yeah.
like the levels get more and more abstract.
There's
and
one that's like there's a
confusing.
road in the middle of the
Yeah,
kitchen, and you have to
yeah.
avoid traffic.
And the levels, move around and stuff, and they have
Isn't
their
there one on
all
the
own
truck?
unique levels, aren't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
It's
one
a
on several
fantastic
trucks.
game. It's
Yeah.
so good. Oh yeah, trucks moving about.
There's like
You
one
have to hop
in
between.
space, I think.
They've totally
Yeah.
stolen that Trucks one from Gang Beasts. Come on.
You can't just no.
Trucks is from Gang Beasts.
Just because there are trucks in a game doesn't mean they stole it from Gang Beasts.
Gang Beasts is the progenitor of all games.
It was not the OG
That's a
trucks.
ridiculous thing to
So
say.
what do you think of Overcooked then? If you had to give Overcooked a score,
A score out of 5, like out of 5 stars.
I want a number of cats out of 10.
Oh,
How many cats out of 10 would you
10
give
cats
Overcooked?
out of 10.
10
because
cats out of 10.
That
because
sounds
it's
terrible.
not the
10
best
cats.
game I've ever played,
have to be
but for what
nice
it
cats.
is, it does exactly what it sets out to do. And they've also released 2 sort of expansions, one of which is
Yeah.
about £2 or £3 and
Was
adds
it all
about 6
free?
levels in. And then there was a Christmas one that was free, the Festive Seasoning, which is a great name for an expansion.
Yeah, that's really
But
awesome.
so
but
it
they're
seems
just
like
giving
it's
out
in
free stuff for it.
Yeah, it seems like it's in really good spirit, and it's a really fun game.
I thoroughly enjoyed the time I had playing it with you.
Yeah.
At 3 a.m.
That was
pissed
great.
out of my mind.
I was mega stressed out when I played it.
Yeah, it was real bad for my heart rate, but it was good fun. What else have you been playing?
Because
Because you played that with me, so you must have played something
Yeah,
else.
we've also played Jackbox Party Pack together. You introduced me to that,
Oh, yeah.
which is
That
a
fun
collection of
game.
mini games which you play Jackbox, say on your PC, on your laptop, off of Steam, and you plug it into the television, and then you connect to that on your phone. You go onto a browser, go onto jackbox.tv, and on your television it will give you a four character room code, and you put that in, and then your phone becomes the controller.
Yeah, it's a really clever way to do quiz games, and
Yeah.
there's like a Pictionary knockoff and
Yeah.
other stuff in there, and
So
it's
you
all
can-
done through because everyone's got a phone. I
Yeah.
say everyone's got a phone.
You can play with up to 8
Normal
people.
people have
You don't
phones.
have to buy 8 controllers, because everyone has a phone mostly, or
Yeah, it's
the drawing ones are easier on like a tablet, like an iPad or a Surface.
I think that's cheating personally, but you know.
Well, I won that round fair and square, so
Yeah, that's those Jackbox games are really, really clever, and
Yeah.
they're really fun.
there's one called Quiplash, which will give you a sentence with a blank, and you have to fill in that blank. And of course, when you can fill in with anything you want, it gets pretty rowdy.
Yeah.
It gets pretty
rude,
rude with
yeah.
a group of 20-somethings,
Yeah.
and
But
less
it's,
so
yeah.
when I played it with my family over Christmas. My mother
yeah.
was trying to keep things nice and family friendly.
Yeah,
we
so it's
weren't
like
having any of that.
everyone generates their solution, and then it gives up all the solutions, and then
You vote on
pick,
which one's
you
best.
pick which one you think is the answer. Yeah.
Oh,
'Cause
that's
if you get
that's
it-
fibbage.
Oh, is
Quiplash,
that
you
fibbage?
decide which one you think is
Yeah,
funniest.
Quiplash is between like two
right,
people,
okay.
so it'll be like so you have 8 people playing, and then it'll be like 4 rounds, and then it'll be 1 versus 1 in each round, and it'll be like that. So this person put this, and this person
right.
put this, and it's just like complete the sentence, fill in the blank, and whoever you think or whatever one you found funniest to fill the blank, you
So-
just vote for them.
Quiplash is about quipping, and
Mhm.
fibbage is about fibbing.
It
that
is.
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
TKO, another great mini game in that pack.
TKO is
That's in
really
Party
clever.
Pack 3. But
Yeah,
that's
it's,
also a great one.
So it's a cool series of party games.
Yeah. And it's a
They're
nice
awesome.
idea because, obviously, like you said, when everyone's got their phone, anybody can just come around. It's not like you need to come prepared. You don't need
Yeah.
to tell everybody you don't need to tell people who are coming around, oh, we're going to be doing this, so bring this. Because most people will have their phone anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One of
and
them you
like-
can play with up to 100 people,
Damn.
which is like a true or false quiz game.
Yeah, and then the audience watching, like they vote as well, don't they? It's
I
good.
th- yeah, I
it's
think
good
you can
for
have-
Twitch streamers.
Yeah.
You can have
That's cool.
audiences up to like 10,000
Yeah.
strong, yeah.
But it's
Wow.
yeah, it's
Really?
cool because it's like even if a game's really interesting and simple, a lot of the time if you hand someone a 360 controller, they go, "Ooh," and it can be quite intimidating. Even if
Yeah.
it's you only have to use the stick and one button, which
Yeah.
is like that's most of the controls for Overcooked. It's still an extra level of what am I holding? Whereas if someone you just say, sign this thing on your phone and then draw a picture and then we can go from there.
Yeah.
That's they're awesome video games. They are awesome video games. Yeah, so there's not a huge amount going on at the moment in the world of video games, as we know because we spent half an hour talking about the Switch, because that's basically it. Everyone got out of the way of the Switch. But there is one game coming out, actually, on... What's the date today? The 21st. On Wednesday. No, Tuesday. There's a game coming out on Tuesday. Resident Evil 7.
Oh, yeah. I've not really played. I've played Resident Evil 4, I think it was.
I played the demo back in the day. I played the demo.
Oh,
What,
yeah.
for Resident Evil...
Oh no, I played the demo for Resident Evil 5, the one that was set in Africa. Yeah.
That's an awesome game.
I played the one that was mostly grey and a bit of red, with the blonde guy. I think it was 4.
Well, 4,
It was on the
yeah.
GameCube.
The blonde guy, Leon S. Kennedy.
Yeah.
He's the best.
And other than that, I've never really experienced Resident Evil other than
You
the
can
films.
suplex
but
people. It's so good. I don't know, I really like those games.
I really love that one. Yeah.
Yeah, 4 is an awesome, awesome game that is like kind of responsible for third-person shooters for like the last 10 years. It's
Yeah.
basically the reason Gears of War exists.
Which is
and
a good
it's-
legacy to have because those are
Yeah.
incredible games.
And it's 4 is awesome. And like you fight Midget Napoleon in 4, and it's
You really
so
can't
good.
get better than that. If the game has that in it, it's one game of the year already, right?
Yeah,
At least in my
and
books.
5 is a thoroughly enjoyable cooperative experience.
Yeah.
If it just feels a little bit like 4 again. 6 is not very good. And then I think some of the older ones, they're tough to go back to, you know? They're significant for kind of inventing survival horror in their own special way. Like, I guess there was
And
Clock
Mila
Tower and stuff
Jokovich's
before it.
career.
Yeah,
supporting it at
kind of.
least.
Well, isn't she only in those films because she's married to the director?
Yeah. Well, those films keep getting made so she can keep having a job, right?
Yeah, exactly. So she can make money.
Which is a mean thing to say. Those are fun films, even if they're bad. I do quite enjoy them.
Yeah, that first one's alright, that bit with the laser grid. No, this is a video games show. What we're talking about. Yeah, but Resident Evil 7 is coming out for the PC and the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, and it's first person?
That's strange.
It's a first person Resident Evil game, which is a first.
Everything's first person nowadays.
It means you can put it in VR.
Real life is first person.
Yeah, I think that is probably
It is
what they
in
might
VR.
be going. That's what I think they might be going towards, is the whole sort of virtual reality, and you can maybe try and gear Resident Evil to having like a main release when it in some point in the future on VR. Or something like
I
that.
believe if you play Resident Evil 7 on the PlayStation 4 and you have PSVR, you can play the entire thing in VR.
That's terrifying.
Wow.
I believe.
That sounds like a incredible experience that I want no part of.
It sounds like a real quick way to throw up all over yourself. But I don't know, that looks weird. Have you seen any of the trailers for it?
No, I've seen stuff about it. I've not seen the trailers. I've seen that they're kind of changing it up. From what I've seen, they're going back a bit. Not back. They're because they got a bit with 6. They got a bit
6 is there's
all over the place. Didn't
there's
they?
a virus-ridden T-Rex who backflips in 6, and you shoot him in the face with a rocket launcher.
That is incredible.
No, don't pull that face, Tom. It's not as good as it sounds.
What?
It's really bad. It's though. They knew that everyone loved the suplexes from 4 and 5, but they were really hard to do. So in 6, there's just like a dedicated suplex button. You just run up people and hit melee, and you just suplex them.
Again, all games should have that. Midget Napoleon and a suplex button.
I think
It would make all games better.
I think in Final Fantasy 6 you can suplex a train, which is pretty cool.
How? How could you? I don't even.
It's not a very big train, and you're quite a big dude, I suppose.
Yeah, that works.
Yeah, but Resident Evil 7, it looks like it's sort of stepping away from the incredibly convoluted and weird story from the previous 8 million games they released.
Yeah.
That are all about the T-Virus and Umbrella Corp and zombies and other Raccoon City and stuff, and it looks like it's going back to more of its sort of survival horror roots. It's taken some cues from PT,
Yeah.
obviously
Yeah.
because it's first person, and it also looks like it's taken a lot of cues from like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and like House of a Thousand Corpses and stuff. It's a bunch of backwards inbred hillbillies who love to murder people and like cannibalize and stuff. I don't know.
Is that your description of zombies? Backwards hillbillies who like to murder and cannibalize?
No, that's the thing with Resident Evil 7. They're not zombies. It's like a family. It's full on like Devil's Rejects, like Rob Zombie style, like a family of weird inbred hillbillies live in the woods and just like stab each other and hitchhikers and eat them and stuff. It's pretty intense.
Cool.
You should watch some of the trailers.
Oh, have a look. I'll check it out.
Looks
You
like
just
it
want to
could-
see hillbilly stuff.
Yeah, I really do.
Yeah, those trailers get really intense. It looks like a really grimy game that is taking a lot out of PT, but PT's really scary.
PT is terrifying. That was a sweaty event.
Yeah, that
Playing
that,
that.
that evening was pretty intense. From what I remember of sitting down in your house, Dylan,
Yeah.
playing through that was one of the scariest things. And I think Resident Evil has been progressively getting scarier and scarier every iteration. Really, it's been.
I mean, there
it's been-
were some moments there where it stopped being scary.
Oh,
for a
really?
while. When it just started being about backflipping T-Rexes.
I don't know. That's pretty
So it'll be
terrifying.
interesting to see where this one goes, especially because it is going to be the first Resident Evil game in first person. So
Yeah,
it'll be interesting
it
to
is.
see where they take it and how they use the VR, if they can nail VR with it. It'll be
Well,
one
that's
of the
it, isn't
major
it? There
breakthroughs,
hasn't
wasn't it?
really been a full game, like a full true game experience in VR yet.
No,
like
not at
a
all.
proper one.
Not a proper one,
That's
no.
like an actual video game. It's not just a series of interesting
Eagle
experiences
Flight.
and ideas. But hey, that's not really a video game, is it? That's just a bird simulator 2K17.
Which does sound really good, though.
Yeah, now I've said it, it sounds alright, doesn't it?
Yeah. That's something I want to do. Pretend to be a bird for a while.
Oh,
I
we
could just do that without VR. I'll just go stand on the front of the Trent building.
We could. Well, okay.
Just
that's
perch.
That's a bit weird. Yeah, I don't know. It might actually turn out to be an incredibly important game because it might be the first real proper game to offer a story-based single player, not just a bunch of like arena shooting stuff in
Yeah.
like first person. And if it nails that and isn't just a vomit experience,
Might be the first game to have diaper peripherals.
this game comes with a pack of nappies. Because you're going to poo. Yeah, I don't know. It comes out on the PC as well, so I might I don't know, after exams I might pick it up, because I am curious to see what that is, because there are some really interesting parts about Resident Evil that's really cool, and this one looks like it's a departure. Do you see the promotional event for it? Was they were just sending around VHS tapes of like creepy found footage from inside the game, like actual VHS tapes to different outlets. And so it was like you'd first get a box with the VHS tape in it, and then the next box would be an actual VHS player, because obviously no one has a VHS player anymore.
I was about to say, just nobody actually knew what was going on for so long.
Yeah, and then like Polygon had this ridiculous article that was like, well, we tried to get it playing, but none of the TVs in the office had S-video in, so we actually couldn't wire up any of the VHS players into it, and so we couldn't do it, so they just had to rip it off YouTube instead.
Brilliant.
Great idea,
But
not such great execution.
Send an adapter as well next time.
Jack, do you want to listen to a hot Neil Voss Tetrasphere track?
Yeah, we have got a couple more lined up. This next one that we're going to play is called Manic Drummix.
And we're back. That was Manic Drum Mix by Neil Voss, also from Tetrasphere. Are you sensing a theme in the music here?
I think it might all be from Tetrasphere.
Yeah.
Gnarly.
They're pretty big tracks.
They're
I say they're
pretty good.
I mean, they are very late 90s, but you know, I'm into them.
I can imagine, glow sticks and Simon Pegg dancing to it. That's my idea of raves. Simon Pegg and Nick Frost.
That one bit from Spaced.
That precisely that one bit from Spaced.
Is it the delivery man Pete?
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. So, things going on in video games. Like I said, it's a bit of a slow show. Like, obviously we're not playing too much because it's exams, but we've got a Hall of Game.
We do indeed.
And we've picked a Hall of Game category that it wasn't intentionally almost impossible to actually add to the picture, but it kind of is impossible to add to the picture.
You can
Does
thank Tom for that.
No, you can
someone
blame
want to say
Cameron
what
for
it
that
is?
Since you brought it up, you want to
It was I thought of best multiplayer map or favourite multiplayer map,
which I found quite difficult
Mm.
because
because we only
Obviously-
ever play Halo.
yeah, the multiplayer games I tend to play is Halo and Titanfall.
And you don't want to do a third Halo thing.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I did think about like maybe what is it, Towerfall or Samurai Gun or something, but those are a bit too.
I don't know,
Don't
that
think I'd
one
go
map
there.
from Samurai Gun, which
It's all
is
bamboo.
Yeah,
That is the one I thought of.
that one's really good.
But yeah, I found this one a little bit difficult.
Well, do we all have one?
I have one.
I have two, but I know which one I'm going to go with.
Greedy. Maybe we can throw in some honorary mentions. I think we're probably going to have time.
Yeah.
Jack, do you want to kick us off with your favourite multiplayer map?
I have
shipment, isn't
one,
it?
but it's, again, in a similar situation to Dylan. I don't just want to throw a lot of Call of Duty stuff in there. Because, I mean, Call of Duty, for me, video games, it was basically my high school years was just sitting down on my PS3 and playing with a couple of my mates from high school, and we all get into like a party of 8 and we could play Call of Duty World at War, Call of Duty, all of the Call of Duties that came out in that sort of 5-6 year period. We just sit down and play it all together as a group, which was basically why I love the franchise so much, and it's just been a massive bit of my childhood. But
That's the core of your multiplayer playing.
yeah, that's the thing. So I don't, in terms of like other multiplayer games, I find it a bit weird to say that, I like playing in this stadium from FIFA when I play online, because that just sounds a bit weird. Like, it's not really a multiplayer map.
Jack, do you have a favourite stadium in FIFA?
I do not, actually. Having said that, I haven't played much FIFA over the last couple of years.
Big up to Portman Road. One love to Ipswich.
If I was to
Tractor boys.
if I was to add in my favourite multiplayer map, it would of course have to be Nuketown.
It's a pretty good map.
Nuketown 24/7, nonetheless.
Was that from Call of Duty Black
it's in
Ops?
Black Ops 2.
I never played that one.
Is that like future Nuketown?
Yeah, it's sort of semi-future Nuketown, and I think that the reason it means so much to me, not only because it's like an iconic map, but they had a specialised playlist for it where it was just Nuketown. Every map was Nuketown. Every game you played was Nuketown.
Call of Duty
Yeah,
Nuketown.
it's just Nuketown.
That's
Yeah, essentially.
intense.
So, and the thing about Nuketown is it's close quarters. You got 2 buildings on the other side. You got a couple of coaches in the middle, and you got your backyards and whatever. But going through the houses, it's very, very close quarters combat. I believe it's gained its popularity so much so that people, I think over in America somewhere, have actually created a paintball.
Yeah.
A paintball facility that is
Oh, of
exactly
course
like
they have.
Nuketown. Which you look at it and I think, I really just want to go there and play because it looks like it's going to be so much fun. But yeah, I think also.
So what's
as well,
the gimmick at Nuketown? Run us through, because it has a pretty intense gimmick, doesn't it?
Well, the big gimmick was that every time that a game ended in Nuketown, you would see a atomic bomb be dropped, a nuke be dropped in the background, and you'd see the sound wave and the pressure wave come flying towards you, and it would blow up the whole city. So it's essentially it's basically just a model town where the Russians would be testing dropping their nukes.
Yeah, it's like the bit at the beginning of, I can't believe I'm going to reference this, but Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, where he goes to the fake town full of dummies and then hides in the fridge.
Yeah, that's essentially what it is. But
Jack, can you hide in a fridge in Call of Duty?
I don't think you can.
Oh,
I know that on
Maybe it's a secret Easter egg.
Black Ops 3. On the Black Ops 3, they did put Nuketown in there, and I know that one of the quite funny gimmicks that you could do if you were in, I don't know if it worked on the multiplayer, but I know that if you sat down with a group of your friends and played like split screen and you went around the map, so the maps have mannequins on, and if you went around the map and you shot the head off of all of the mannequins in like a certain, maybe I think it was like 3 minutes or so, what would happen is Nuketown would turn into a mannequins chasing after you sort of thing, so the mannequins would start moving around and they just start chasing after you, which I think was quite
nuts.
weird.
That's really weird.
They do it in the latest one as well, don't they? With if you shoot off all their arms, they start being like the Weeping Angels from Doctor Who, and they only chase you if you're when you're not looking at them.
Wow.
So you turn around and they'll suddenly be like a horde of the mannequins behind you.
What's the latest one? Infinite Warfare?
Yeah, I think it's either that one or the one before.
Is there Nuketown Infinite Warfare? I don't know.
I'm
I
not
think
too
Nuketown's
sure.
in all of them at this point.
I'm not too
really?
sure.
They keep
Put it in
bringing it
everything.
back.
Like zombies are just in everything now.
Yeah.
But I
Fair
think,
enough.
like, again, one of the reasons that I hold that map close to my heart is because I think that was the only map ever that I actually managed to get a nuke on.
Oh,
So
yeah, brilliant.
It sort of fits well with the fact that
Cool.
it's Nuketown, you're getting a nuke on Nuketown, getting 25 kill streak, which, it's always hard to do. And it's just one of those iconic maps from me when I was growing up and playing online multiplayer games.
That's awesome. Good luck trying to somehow represent that in our Hall of Game picture.
Yeah,
on the Facebook group at URN Video Game Show.
Nice plug.
Nice plug.
As lovely as that's why it's your favourite map. Because it's the only map you got a nuke on. But, like, get good, scrub.
They've actually made it, just as a bit of a segue, they've actually made it a lot harder to get nukes in Infinite Warfare because it's not a perk anymore, or it's not a kill streak anymore.
Oh,
it's
really?
So you get weapon variants in the game.
Yeah.
And some of the epic weapon variants, they have an attachment called Nuclear. And that enables you, if you get 25 kills with that gun, then you can get a nuke. So it's sort of a
You can't use the
customized part of gun.
AC-130
You
to
can't
do
use an
most of it.
AC-130 or anything like that anymore. So which is a bit upsetting because I remember being in like the chopper gunner and just absolutely, cleaning up house when you were as soon as you got to that 11 kill streak, I think it was, you just, the only way that you could not get your nuke from that would if you were really bad.
Yeah.
So I think the only time I ever got into the chopper gunner and then got like a real solid 30 kill streak or something, I didn't have a nuke. I was really bummed. It's like the only time I've ever got a kill streak to even get close to that, and I didn't have nuke. And I won the match. I had like the most kills of the match, but didn't get a nuke.
Man,
Then I stopped playing Modern Warfare.
Just threw it out because of that.
It's like break the
Forgot
disc.
nuke.
I made a whoopsie.
How about you, Mark? What's your pick?
Ooh.
We tend to go with you last, so let's go with you a bit earlier this time.
Oh, okay. I picked Facing Worlds from Unreal Tournament.
Oh, you've told me about this before.
Facing Worlds is quite possibly the best multiplayer map ever made.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, for any sort of team game anyway. The gimmick is it's an asteroid that is going around the Earth, and some people carved 2 temples onto it that face each other, and then you play capture the flag on it. And so basically it's 2 really tall towers with a long strip of land in between it, and it's in space going around the Earth, so the skybox is awesome.
Yeah.
And then it's a crazy sniper heaven. I once got like 100 kills on it with just a sniper rifle sitting on the top of the tower.
Oh, you're that guy.
It's so good. It's so good. It's good enough that they put a version of it in every single other Unreal Tournament game. And they make weird stories about it as well. So I think in like Unreal Tournament 2003, they said that the original set of temples was destroyed by another asteroid.
Yeah.
So they made an artificial one. So the one in 2003, instead of being like a bunch of rocks with 2 stone towers on it, it's like a steel bit of scaffolding with like metal gird and stuff going up around it, so it's all artificial looking. But it's so good. It's like the best capture the flag map ever made. It's awesome. It's sniper paradise, and then to get across it, you have to obviously run the gauntlet. Oh, it's just awesome. And it's one of the few maps where there's a real solid Redeemer spawn, which is the guidable nuclear missile from Unreal Tournament, so you can get like crazy 10-person kills or something. It's just, oh mate, it's so good. Like, just talking about it, I just want to go and play Unreal Tournament now, just to play it. it's so simple, and in that simplicity, it makes it just Someone went, what do you need for a capture the flag map? Well, you need 2 bases and you need some land between them. They went, all right, cool, nailed it. Next map.
Is it just land between them and there's no like cover and stuff?
The land is slightly like it's a slight crest, so it's a little bit higher in the middle, which means when you're running towards the crest, only the people on the very, very top of the other side can see you, but all the other couple of sniper nests and the other people out the floor of the temple can't. And then you go like literally over the top of this crest, so then you have to run back down the hill towards the other temple, and then the very, very centre in the middle is where the big keg of health spawns. So you get a good run, and if you can get there and it's still there, that's a 200 health bonus.
Yeah.
And then you have to run back down the hill. Oh, it's awesome. I've got a couple of copies of Unreal Tournament. Let's just play that after the show. Let's just play Unreal Tournament. I didn't need to do exams.
You've got exams, Stu.
Oh, damn it. It's really good. Yeah, it's so simple, and in that simplicity and the fact that all the weapon spawns are right there, because a big problem in Unreal Tournament was always that a lot of the capture the flag maps could be quite maze-like.
Yeah.
They would be symmetrical, but to get from your flag through to the central point and then to the other flag, you had to memorise pathways and shortcuts and other stuff. And Facing Worlds is just, no, you start in the temple and you run out and you get your guns, and there are teleporters in the temple that take you to the different sniper lists, and then you just have to run to the other side of it and get them. And it's just insane. There's just rockets flying everywhere and sniper bullets flying everywhere, and there's the announcers just constantly shouting double kill. It's so good.
It sounds very similar to there's this, obviously, because annoyingly I'm bringing this back to Halo. There's this, because obviously Forge people make basically whatever they want, so I imagine someone took that idea and did it in this, and it's like Wolf Rally Alpha or something like that, and it's capture the flag, 2 bases, and you have to, there's one path down the middle, and it's sort of the opposite way around, so you start at the top and you have to go down into this valley essentially and come back up the other side, and all the weapon spawns are completely random.
I saw you play that.
Yeah,
that was insane.
The most ridiculous game mode I've ever played, but it sounds like it's taken its inspiration from that.
There's something really wonderful when the gameplay can support it about a real nice, simple, like there's a purity to it that allows you just to whip out a sniper rifle and just it's headshot city, baby.
Yeah, exactly. Because anybody who tries to do anything, you just why even bother?
Blam blam.
Might as well give up now.
It's brilliant. Yeah, that's my favourite. Facing Worlds. It's awesome. And then you do the entire thing, and Earth is just there, and it's like it's giant because Earth is quite big.
Yeah, fairly big.
So I've been told by some physicists I know.
I've heard it's the worst of the planets.
So Dylan.
Yeah.
What's your favourite multiplayer map, mate?
I struggled with this one, obviously. Like I said, I contemplated the obvious of coagulation in Halo 2. I prefer it to Blood Gulch, but they're basically the same. I tried to think of maybe a Titanfall 1, but I thought again I talk about that too much. I really used to like Crysis 2. There's a lot of maps on that I used to love, but in the end I went for this game me and my brother used to play all the time, and I ended up playing with a lot of my friends on the original Xbox, called Kung Fu Chaos.
Yeah.
And it's you're making a film kinda, and it's one of those rubbishy sort of B-movie kung fu films, but essentially the theme is each map is a different famous film. So there's Enter the Dino, which is Jurassic Park essentially. So there's a scene where there's a bit in it where there's a dummy on a toilet that gets eaten by a T-Rex. Pretty
brilliant.
Funny. But my favourite one,
I'm all about that.
Mostly because of
toilet
the name.
murder.
Yeah, exactly. Mostly because of the name is Gigantic Crack, which is filming this weird kung fu movie with all these stupid characters on a sinking Titanic, but actually named The Gigantic because it's the Gigantic Crack.
I thought it was going to be a parody of James Cameron's Abyss.
So your favourite map is Gigantic Crack?
Yes.
From Kung Fu Chaos. Okay, of course
but
it is.
It's you. So it's one of those sort of 3D 4-player arena fighters, and so you're just But the arena changes essentially. You're moving through this map kind of on a static route.
There's a Dreamcast game that's like that.
You can make it go a bit faster.
Battle Gems or something. Yeah.
Like you can, I think it can run out of time or something. You can get to the end, but if everyone's rubbish enough, you just stay in certain bits. But it's fun because there's sort of a time limit because the ship you're on is sinking. So obviously, if you stay anywhere too long, you'll drown.
Oh, so the map fills up with water.
It slowly, the water comes up from the bottom up along the ship. So you
that's
slowly
cool.
work your way to the top of the sinking part of the ship.
That's cool.
And then at the end, it so you know the bit in Titanic, spoilers, where it flips.
Yeah.
And there's people like hanging on to the railings and stuff. You have to do that bit, and then you start fighting on the very top of the, like the tip of the ship and stuff
Is
like that.
anybody that? Sorry, that. So in Titanic, digression. Is it that bit where the guy, when it flips and he falls off and then sort of bounces,
He bounces off
the-
something.
and
Oh,
it's really
my word.
gnarly.
Yeah.
If you don't know what Titanic is, this sounds really cool.
What, the game
The
or
Tita-
the film?
It does a, when it does a
film.
flip, and then a guy falls off and
It's actually a
bounces off something.
skateboard.
The ship, the ship that does a flip. It's insane.
But like that bit's really messed up when he
Yeah.
bounces off it. And
Yeah.
I swear
Yeah,
that they put in some
He
like
bounces
foley
off
on
the
that as
propeller,
well.
doesn't he?
Yeah, and they put in like a really comedic boing when it
Yeah.
comes off it as well. Like it's
There's a tiny bit. You can, if you really listen, you can hear it.
yeah, it's so yeah, gigantic crack.
Yeah.
You recommend it? Do you recommend the game Kung Fu Chaos?
I loved it. Like,
say-
I adored it when I was a kid. And I think it's actually not that good, and I think I'm looking at it with rose-tinted glasses, a bit of nostalgia. But it's in, I think it's in IGN's like top 100 party games or something, or top 10 party games maybe. Top something party games that they released in 2005. So
Nice.
it's IGN, as trustworthy as they are.
The
it's
International
pretty
Games
good.
Network.
Exactly. So it's,
They probably know a thing or two about games.
they've recommended it, so seems reasonable, right?
Yeah, totally.
But I loved
Gigantic
it.
crack. Oh, it's a good name at least.
Exactly. That's mostly why I picked that one. I like a lot of the maps in that. But
It sounds like a good map gimmick. To be fair, I like a good changing map in a fighting game. I
They
think
all-
that's really fun.
they all change a bit. The Enter the Dino one doesn't change that much at all. You're on a raft the entire time, but well, until the very end. But they all mostly change. Some of
That's
them are
cool.
running through. There's a Night of the Living Fog, which is you have to follow this map, and if you leave the map, you get into the fog, and like a weird vampire dummy kills you. Stuff like that.
Oh,
But there's all these weird
awesome.
gimmicks. But that one, yeah, I picked that one specifically for the name.
Yeah, the name is good. I'm really into the name. I'm down with the gigantic crack.
But you should all play it. There's not many Let's Plays online, so maybe we should do our own.
Oh, then we'd need to somehow get a capture card and an original Xbox.
I have an original Xbox and the game.
We'll have to get like an old CRT to play it on for authenticity as well.
Yeah. Man, definitely. Otherwise, the aspect ratio will be all knackered. Tom,
Hello.
it's your first time on the video game show.
It is.
Would you like to tell us what your favourite multiplayer map is?
Yeah, so this is one that's actually already been mentioned in the show today, and my eyes lit up when it was. It's,
that's adorable.
it's Trucks from Gang Beasts,
Oh, excellent
which we've all played here. So I don't need to explain to you guys, but Gang Beasts is it's sort of like a wrestling game, except you're sort of controlling these plasticine-like men who seem to be drunk because you can't move them efficiently.
They're very
Like, they'll-
wobbly, aren't they?
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
incredibly wobbly.
Mm.
If you're running one way and then you decide to go the other, there's a bit of lag between as you slow down and
Between the top and the bottom.
yeah, there is. And you can sort of like roughly throw punches. You can grab people and lift them up and throw them off of stuff. And basically, the idea is each map you have to throw people out the ring.
Yes.
So one is just a wrestling ring,
Yes.
and then there's one called Trucks, where there's two trucks
Oh, so good.
driving parallel on a highway, and two people start. So it's 4-player. 2 people start on one, 2 people start on the other, and either you risk jumping across because you can fall in between the trucks and then
Yeah.
you're just splattered on the road, or you wait for them to come to you.
Oh, it's so
And there's
good.
also signs, aren't there? As
Yeah.
you go part way down
Yeah.
the highway,
And you can also
these signs. So you
Duck
have to
under
duck.
them on the cabin.
You
Yeah.
can
And
also-
sometimes the camera pans around, so sometimes you don't even know when the signs are
You
coming.
can-
You just have to guess.
You can also maneuver yourself by like hanging onto the back of the truck.
Yeah.
You can swing yourself into the
Yeah,
back
someone-
of the truck.
Yeah,
as
you
well.
can
last
fling
time we
yourself
played
into
it, you
the
managed to
truck
get
like
inside
the
the
truck
truck.
doors.
We
the
all
truck
figured it
doors
out
at the back,
eventually.
yeah.
I think I was the
Yeah.
first one to
They
do
all
it out of
open.
us. But then
But that's a great
Yeah.
map.
In a game full of really ridiculous scenarios, there is a kind of beautiful simplicity to trucks, which is you're on the top of trucks, fight.
And again, talking about terrible, sort of gnarly sound effects, when someone does get hit by the sign, and it's just this flat smack, and they're gone.
Yeah.
Because this truck's going so fast. It's great.
Oh,
I love that
it's-
map.
that is a good map.
Yeah, Gang Beasts in a game full of good maps, that is one of the best.
Yeah.
Very
I quite
much so.
like I can't remember what it's called.
Ferris
Fan?
wheel.
Ferris
Oh,
wheel's good.
Ferris wheel's so good.
But the
Wheel.
big industrial fan one,
Fan, yeah.
where
fan
you
is great.
start, you have to fight in the air sometimes. That's a good one.
I don't like that
Yeah.
one because that's the one that keeps breaking.
No, they fixed it.
It hasn't
they
broken
fixed
in a while.
Oh,
yeah.
really? Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
It broke like the first time we played it, but then after the summer, It was
Yeah, when they changed some of the builds,
Because there were
it sorted
issues
out.
with people going through the fans but not being
not dying.
eliminated
Yeah.
from the game. Yeah. So
and then it split. You couldn't see
that
anything.
was it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's in a game full of great maps. I think there are some more maps in that actually. We should check
should
that
have a
out.
go.
We might even record it and
Yeah,
put it.
we could do some
on-
Overcooked,
on the
some Gang
YouTubes.
Beast,
Definitely.
could do some Jackbox.
So we've only got a little bit left on the show before our time is up, but there's a game that we haven't played in a while that I really love because it's super silly. It's called Name Unknown. And what it is I go through the Metacritic upcoming release lists for PC games, which, because Steam is an unregulated nightmare, they all got really silly names.
I saw a ridiculous fact about the Steam unregulated nightmare, as you call it.
40% of all Steam games
Exactly.
came out in 2016,
That
which is
precise-
why
What?
it is
Yeah.
a hellhole now.
Yeah. 40% of all those games on Steam came out last
That's
year.
crazy.
I don't think I even used Steam that much last year.
Well, do you know what game's coming out on Monday, guys?
Is it Kung Fu Chaos 2?
Oh god, I'd be so happy.
Pigmentum in all caps.
Is it just like Angry Birds but with pigs? That has pigs in it.
I got no idea. I don't know what any of these games are about. This one's called Pigmentum.
Is that meant to be like Pig Momentum?
Yeah.
No,
Pig
yeah,
Momentum.
it's
Sounds
like
like it.
Momentum, but it's pigs, and it's in all caps. Pigmentum. I'm all about that. That comes out on Monday.
I think the fact it's in all caps makes it
Yeah,
better.
I wouldn't be
God,
interested
otherwise.
otherwise.
What about Alpaca Paca Dash? Which, if this pitch is anything to go by, that is an alpaca racing game, which I am down with. That sounds all right.
Sounds pretty
In
pretty
VR.
cool.
Alpaca racing in VR. You get to finally be the alpaca. That's what I've always wanted.
Alpaca Simulator 2016.
This one comes out on Tuesday.
What am I doing?
It's a bit weirder. Panty Party.
Oh.
And the picture doesn't help what you think it is, but you know, if you want to go to the panty party, I don't want to go to the panty party.
Also in VR.
Oh
No, it's not entertaining that idea.
We have Ropes and Dragons VR. Seems I get Dungeons and Dragons, and then maybe like cut the rope.
That like
Ropes
Snakes
is
and
a
Ladders.
strange thing to
Ropes and
combine with
dragons.
dragons.
Ropes and Dragons. Is it like
Snakes and Ladders in VR?
Snakes and Ladders? Ropes and Dragons. Yeah, it'll work. What about?
climb up the ropes and slide down the dragons?
I imagine
the other
so.
way around.
Oh no, because they've got spines on. I wouldn't want to slide down dragons.
I wouldn't really want to
That
slide
would-
down a rope
That would
either,
mess you
though.
up.
You'd get rope burn.
Wear gloves.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe swing from the ropes.
What about Rocket Birds 2?
That sounds cool.
Yeah, that's probably alright.
Rocket Birds too.
Rockets, birds,
Two.
both fairly good things.
Is it birds that are rockets or rockets that are also birds?
Is it not?
It's an important distinction.
I hope it's some sort of transformer situation. So sometimes they're rockets and sometimes they're birds.
I think this one it looks like they got the game description confused with the game title, because this one's called Learn Japanese to Survive Katakana War. I don't know what that might be, like a JRPG possibly, but also like an edu game. Learn Japanese to Survive.
It sounds like
With
a
an
pretty good way of
exclamation
learning
mark.
Japanese.
What? Because they'll kill you if you get it wrong.
Yeah. If you're gonna die if you can't learn Japanese, then
Yeah.
that's pretty good motivation.
Motivation, yeah.
Yeah.
That is. Oh, this one's just kind of sad. So I know Scalebound got
Yeah.
cancelled. That was pretty sad. This game's called Stonebound, which I don't think is going to be as good as Scalebound, but it's made me think of Scalebound.
Stonebound, I think, is often a status effect in role-playing games.
Quite possibly. Quite possibly. What about Splasher? I imagine you splash a lot in Splasher.
Yeah, that doesn't have much to go on, does it?
Is that just Magikarp Simulator?
Again,
flailing
what it
around
is.
on
in
the floor.
VR.
Yeah.
Magikarp
That's
VR. Yeah, okay. I'm down with Magikarp VR. The Super Spring Ninja.
Spring
This
is
the
it? Spring
third
is in
time
like
we've
the
had
season.
ninjas in
it's-
Name Unknown. People love ninjas.
It's because it's just.
It's a good word.
To have ninja in your game title is incredibly evocative of what you're going to be doing in that game, isn't it?
Yeah, I
Like
think
immediately.
by the end of this show, not this particular show, by the end of our run, we should, using all of our Name Unknown knowledge, come up with the best Steam name we can, and it will almost definitely involve the word ninja
And alpacas.
and alpacas, because that's
Definitely.
the best one we've heard so far.
What about Berserk and the Band of the Hawk?
That just
That sounds like
cool.
a great album.
Yeah, man.
I'd listen to that.
Epic. What do you reckon Dad Quest is about?
Is it like the opposite of Octodad? You're a dad who goes down and lives with some octopi.
Is it like Octodad
Octopus.
crossed with Shower with Your Dad Simulator?
Oh.
Kilgrim Lumberfist, the game.
Oh, that would be so good, man. Kilgrim Lumberfist is the ultimate dad, so let's face it, that would make a good game.
What else do we have on this ridiculous? That's not even a word. Ikimu, Splinters of the Dark Shard. That's just.
I feel like it's a name.
I guess.
A character
Ikimu.
name.
Ikimu. Space Jammers. Someone's ripping off Windjammers.
Or Space Jam.
Windjammers
Space Jam,
in
yeah.
space with basketball players. Damn.
Windjammers in space with basketball players. Yeah, okay, I'm down with that.
You played Windjammers on the YouTube channel, didn't you?
We did, thanks
On
for
Low
that.
Everyone
Expectation
should go
Videos.
onto the YouTube channel and watch myself and Dylan play Windjammers. It's great.
Low expectation. He's only saying that because that's the one he won in.
Yeah.
You should all also watch the Gary Mark of the Wolf playthrough
Oh
because
yeah, I do get my ass whooped in that. And now we've just got to all the games that have actually ever been announced, and they've all got normal names.
oh, well, that's
Yeah.
boring.
If you go too far out on Metacritic, it stops feeding you all the weird stuff. Oh no, actually, last one: Super Blackjack Battle 2 Turbo Edition. I imagine that's just a card game, right?
yeah,
Surely.
But it's a
but
battle
it
edition.
is turbo.
Maybe it's like you were saying about that Witcher mod that turns combat into a card game. Maybe this turns a card game into combat.
Yeah, it's blackjack, but whenever you play it, instead of actually having maybe the hands are just different weapons, and then you get given a hand and then you have to fight people.
That would be
cool.
pretty cool.
We've just made a great game, and we're going to call it Alpaca Ninjas.
In VR.
Completely.
But it's not a VR game.
Yes, not a VR game. Perfect. Right, that's going to be the next big trend in video games. Games called something VR that aren't VR games.
It's not even a video game. You just play.
It's a board game.
You play 21 in real life, and you have to have a selection of weapons ready, and you just fight your friends.
Yeah, fight to the death. Let's do it.
That's just Monopoly.
Can't play. Yeah, basically.
Oh, yeah, true. Monopoly, but with cards.
Well,
a card game.
I think that brings us to the close of a long and rambling and pseudo professional issue of the URN video game show.
I think we all needed it. It's a busy time for everyone.
Yeah, it was nice to not have to think about revision for a bit. That was fun.
Yeah.
But now I actually have to think about revision, guys. So I think we're going to have to bring this one to a close.
Good luck to everyone listening with their exams.
Yeah, good
Oh,
luck.
yeah, true.
Jack, Dylan, Tom, thank you for coming on the show with me.
Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for
It's
having
been
us.
great.
Yeah.
It's been really good fun. We're going to close out with a hot Neil Voss track. This is Flim Flam. And I think some of these guys will be seeing you all next week. I won't. I've got an exam at literally the time of the radio show. Outrageous.
On a Saturday?
We'll hopefully
Yeah,
be
man,
here for
it's
you.
the very last day of exams. It's shocking.
Sad times.
Yeah, well,
And
happy gaming, folks.
Not really enough time for Tom to shout out his Destiny. His Destiny crew. So just go for it.
You should go PlayStation Network store for Tom Morton. Like, do a search on there for Tom Morton. Add him. Play Destiny with him. There we go. Cool.
Someone
Finally,
play
Tom.
with me, please.
Happy game.